Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Adventure Vin with the Daily Report. Let me start with saying today is day 19. It is Thursday, August 30th. Tonight I'm spending the night in the El Trovator in Kingman, Arizona. It's my last night I'm spending on Route 66. The adventure is coming to a conclusion. And I bet you guys are just as heartbroken as I am. But while I'm talking, I just kind of want to show you a quick view. This is unique. The Wigwam Motel. I'm in the one in Holbrook. There's two on Route 66. The other one is by where I live in San Bernardino, about 20 minutes from my house. But these are actually quite roomy inside. Very roomy. It's actually bigger than some of the places I've stayed. It's deceivingly big. All the owner, Clifton, told me that all the furnishings are original from the time that his dad actually built this. So, I mean, there's the ceiling. It is kind of in a, I guess, weird hexagonal shape type of thing. The bathroom is pretty small, but remember the time that these things were built. When I first came in, I wasn't sure where the shower was, but the shower's little shower right behind the door there, all original tile. I'm 6 foot and there's plenty of room in here. Plenty of room in the shower. I mean, I didn't have any issues at all. There's plenty of height. Now let me jump in there. So now you all can say, I witnessed Adventure Vin in the shower. So, and look at all that headroom I still have. So pan around, and then we're moving out. But out of all the hotel rooms, I think this is the most unique one. And once again, one thing I liked is that I'm able to park the motorcycle right outside, right out front. Let's walk outside for a second. People have been clearing out a little bit, but so there's the Wigwam Motel, and there are, sorry if I'm moving fast. So I was in this one, I think it's number 16. I'm the very, very first one, and then they wrap around like in a U shape. This one right here used to be a men's bathroom when it was a service station was attached to it. The area right here where this awning is, there was actually pumps right here at one time. They actually were running a gas station at the same time. As I found out through my travels, a lot of these motor courts actually incorporated gas stations. It was pretty interesting. So let's get to the daily report. Got to go back and get my notes. So this is Route 66. That's Route 66 right there. So quite a few cars still travel it. Those of you who've seen the movie Cars, this is what they portrayed as the cozy cone in the movie Cars is this hotel. So day 19, what's going on? What's going on with Adventure Vin? So I'll turn the air conditioner off so I don't have that background noise. Okay, yesterday I went from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Holbrook, Arizona. Tonight I'm at the El Trovator in Kingman, and yesterday's travels took me into, from Albuquerque, I went to Grants. I went to that mining museum. Very interesting, actually. You kind of go down in an elevator. There's pictures on YouTube, and pictures on Facebook and a prior YouTube video on it. Check that out if you haven't seen it. I did come across, between Grants and Gallup, New Mexico, I came across some abandoned neon signage, and that's one of my allures of doing Route 66. I wanted to check out some of the stuff that was just remnants. So this was a sign, just a post with the neon sign with the logo of the motel, and there's nothing there but vegetation. So I took a picture of that, and I really can't remember the name of these two towns I went through. Then I came across a Whiting Brothers truck stop, and I had my helmet on, and the audio really didn't come out well. And I don't really want to get too much deep into it, but what I was saying was to a very close friend of mine, Edna, who I was in high school with, and she was in the same class as my brother, class of 1986. I was class of 1987. Edna and my brother Mark were very close. My brother Mark was an avid motorcycle rider, and up until 3 years ago, I was very anti-motorcycle. Didn't understand it, thought it was very risky. My brother Mark never really had any consequential incidences, no accidents. Unfortunately, he did pass away at 39 from cancer. at the time of his passing, Edna and I became very, very close, and she is a very, very supportive person to me and my entire family when it comes to my brother Mark. So she sent me a picture of her and him together in Colorado, and I have the picture on my cell phone, and I look at it once in a while. And I often refer to my brother Mark as my guardian angel on the trip. I kind of imagine that, okay, I'm not going to do this. I kind of imagine him on the motorcycle next to me, looking over me, making sure that I'm making the right decisions at the right time, keeping me safe, and that he's proud. That he's proud that I went out of my envelope, that I lost my opinion about, as long as you do it safe and smart, motorcycling can be fun, and that he sees what I'm doing. I just wish that I could have shared the experience with him. But Edna, I love you. Thank you very much for keeping his memory alive and being on my trip with me through YouTube and Facebook. Okay, enough of that, right? We're moving on to some good stuff now. So I ended up cruising through Gallup, and for those of you who've been following me, I spent quite a bit of time in Gallup with Tim. Tim on my, I think it was like day 3. Tim fixed both of my pedals, my pegs, my foot pegs, pedals, whatever, where I'm bearing my weight on because they were coming loose. It was a stripped out bolt issue. He did it quick, concise, and it was fun to visit with them. So he fixed them in Gallup. He's a machinist, and I was able to see him yesterday on the way back in, and we took some photos. So Tim, I might have said the word Chris, but Tim was the one that fixed the pedals. Tim, hey, you and your beautiful wife, thank you very much for taking care of me. You made my mission complete and successful. Also in Gallup, my tire was bad, my front tire. When I went to go get that repaired from Chris, Chris noticed that my headset was loose and it was very much vibrating, and it could have caused an accident actually. If not, it would have totally destroyed the front tire in time by making it get all, I forgot the word now, cupping. So he put a new tire on and he got my headset all fixed up, and I got to visit with him. So Chris, thanks so much for taking care of me. Glad I got to see you yesterday. I also stopped by Richardson's Trading Post, and wonderful people there. I've got a couple of trinkets, and they made my experience very individual and very special. I'm trying to refrain from telling you guys exactly what all my experiences are because, I want you to have your own, and I don't want you to go into these places with expectations that you're going to have the same experience that I did. But it doesn't matter. If I tell you go to Richardson's and just go in there and talk to these people, I guarantee you're going to have a good experience. It's going to be your own. It may not be the same as mine, but that is a must-do. Richardson's Trading Post since 1913, before Route 66 came into being. They've been there. After I left Richardson, I went to a place called Fort Courage. And in my research of Route 66, I came across it. And what was so interesting to me, and I did a video, but I'm having a hard time downloading the videos to YouTube this morning. But you'll see the video, and you'll see some pictures on Facebook. But when 1985 or 86, I went on this road trip, spring break from high school with my buddy David Page. And we were with his grandmother, and we pulled over at this place, and she explained it to us. She said, this is the site, this is the old movie set of a show called F Troop. Well, I knew F Troop. F Troop was a TV show that was a tongue-in-cheek type of thing of cavalry soldiers moving out to the West and their relationship with the indigenous population of Indians. And it was a banter back and forth between them and the Indians. And the way I explained it is kind of like Hogan's Heroes is to World War II. F Troop was to the movement westward. And when I went there in 86, it was thriving. There was a pancake house and a cafe we ate at. There were gift stores. There were reenactors. It was like going to Knott's Berry Farm or Disneyland and seeing people in period clothing and costume acting out as if you're back in that time period. Well, now it has faltered. It has gone into disrepair and it's abandoned. It's dilapidated. And it was just very surreal for me to be there yesterday. So it's in the city of Huck. It's in the city of Huck, really close, about maybe 30, 40 minutes to the border of the New Mexico border in Arizona. And so I really thought that was really interesting for me to experience, was there. So after that, I came on down to the Wigwam where I stayed last night, and I had a really great visit with the owners, Clifton and Idalia, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but Clifton and Idalia, they are actually, it was Clifton's father who had built this. So his father, of course, had passed away, And for about 10 years, they had actually just shut down the motel portion. But there's a history of it here somewhere, and I want to say in 1999 they reopened it. I believe it was 1999, and it's wonderful visiting them. It's very affordable to stay here. I think they have, because it's so affordable and because they're so friendly and because they provide a really nice environment. If you don't have reservations, you need to be here by like 5 or 6 p.m. at the latest, or every room in this place is going to be taken. And we visited. They have a really nice lobby, kind of like a lodge feel, with big heavy duty wooden furniture and some petrified wood in there that his father had collected, and a fireplace. And I forgot their name of their assistant, but all four of us, Clifton, his wife Idalia, myself, and the assistant, we sat in there for about an hour, maybe two, just talking about history, talking about this place, talking about his family and his family's challenges and triumphs with the motel, talking about my family and how my father immigrated from Italy. They are just salt of the earth, wonderful people, and I got to see them again. I mean, I would love to see all these people again. When, I don't know, but if it's nothing more than me giving them a phone call or a postcard in the mail, that's what I'm going to do. So then the motorcycle ran fine yesterday. Didn't have any overheating issues. It's cool out there today, actually. And today's journeys is going to take me to, I'm going to the Jackrabbit Trading Post, 20 minutes from here. I might swing by Winslow, Arizona again, although I did the whole standing on the corner thing. But other than the Jackrabbit Trading Post, I want to get to Flagstaff by noon, teaming up with Traveler's Check, who was with me on day 2 and 3 of my ride, and who was also with me when we were doing the commentary of the fake motorcycle museum, the outdoor motorcycle museum. That's way back in like day 3. If you guys want to watch it, it's pretty funny. But so I want to run into him again and spend some time visiting him. He is actually, I'm active duty in my Air Force unit, and he is actually a reservist in the Air Force unit that I'm in. But his full-time job, he's a federal forestry ranger. So he might be busy. He may not be able to be on camera because of his capacity today. But I'm very much looking forward to visiting with you, Traveler's Check. You have made this trip possible in the fact that you taught me how to ride a motorcycle. You were there when we picked out the motorcycle, and you did days 2 and 3 with me on the motorcycle. So that means a lot to me, more than you'll know. Then after that, after Flagstaff, I might just hit some things like when I take a break, take some pictures. But I'm really like to get into the hotel in Kingman by 5 p.m. These are the type of hotels and motels that you go to really socialize with either the owners or the other travelers. And I've been finding out the earlier I'm getting to the hotel is making a better day for me the next day, So that's all I got. I'm sure I'm having some issues downloading some videos to YouTube. I don't know what that problem is, but we'll see what happens. Other than that, I'm going to get packed and get on the road. Thank you very much for following along with me on this trip. I have, before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Randy and Laura Lee. Randy and Laura Lee Smith. I met you guys in Springfield, Missouri at QC Moto. You guys were on the Harley. Hope your travels are going safe, and it was a pleasure meeting you. Hope you've been following along. And right now, I have more people that are following that I know. I started off with 10, and it was just family and friends. So I thank you all for following along with me. You've kind of encouraged me to do these videos and to really pay attention to my experiences as I share them with you. I know I do some funny things once in a while. By the way, if you've watched the dance, the Route 66, the dance, I had to do that twice because the first time I did it, I had cut off my shoulders and my head. And that first time I was dying. It was the sweatiest I've ever been, even with the breakdowns I've had. So the second time I did it, I was having a hard time. But I really, really wanted to push that out there for you guys to enjoy. And I hope to do 1 or 2 more funny ones before I end the trip. Tonight's my last night on Route 66, everybody. And things will come to a conclusion. 24 hours from now, when I'm doing my daily update, it'll be something else. Thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, get out there and ride. Follow your passions. Life is an adventure. Make your journey a good one.